Hey, I'm Lara Sky, I'm a professional dominatrix, and today I'm just going to tell you about a new phone line service that I've been using called Dommeline, which is specifically for dominatrixes to talk to submissives, and you do have to be based in the UK to use it. If you're a model, you can be based worldwide, but to make the phone call you have to be on a UK number, which obviously would be lovely if I could talk to people from all over the world, but it's just not functional like that. It has been quite good for me so far. I have enjoyed it, and because it's a specific site for submissives, I don't get people who are vanilla who are trying to talk about, you know, normal kind of phone line stuff. They have normally a very, very specific idea of what they want to talk about, and they're able to kind of tell you, you know, these are my limits, my likes, my dislikes, this is what I'm looking for. Obviously my profile's on there, they look at it, we match, and they call. Every model has their photo on the main page, and then when you click on it you get to see their more detailed profile, which tells you more about them, their likes, dislikes, what they offer in calls. You can hear a sample of their voice and basically get to know them a little bit before you call. I have blurred this just because there's some words that aren't very YouTube friendly. What I do find is that the phone calls can be quite irregular. So the first couple of days that I was on the site, I had about an hour and a half to 2 hours worth of phone calls, and that's kind of varied now that I've been on the site for a while. So some days I'll get like 150 minutes, some days I'll have 20 minutes. I just kind of keep my phone line on the whole time while I'm sitting here. So if I'm doing admin, if I'm in my house, and I turn it off as I leave. Some people leave it on, you know, the whole day, no matter what they're doing, where I turn it off and on as I'm going around. The actual setup on the site was pretty easy. There was quite a lot of documentation to upload, obviously did that, got my photos. We had to read terms and conditions, which are things like obviously everyone has to be 18 plus. If you think someone's vulnerable, sort of end the call, regulatory things. So if the phone call's ending and you say, should I call back? I'm not allowed to tell you to call back. Or I'm not allowed to withhold something. So I can't say to you, oh, if you call again, I'll do this for you. Or if you call for longer, you know? So I do have an offer on my page just now, which is if you call for more than 25 minutes, you get a free month on the subscription site, but that is a gift to you. That's not, you know, forcing you to do longer. If you were on the phone and I said you're at 23 minutes, you have to do another 2 minutes, that wouldn't be allowed. So it's just, you know, keeping everything right and safe. So because people are more into the fetish scene when they call this line, there are certain topics that we can't discuss. So anything that's illegal, obviously, anything that would actually, you know, inflict bodily harm to them. So we could discuss something that was maybe painful, but I wouldn't be able to tell them to do it. And obviously I don't want someone to take a knife and like cut their fingers off, because that would be crazy. That would be too much, even for me, sweethearts. But yeah, I found a lot of people on there. Obviously my profile is quite aimed toward chastity and feminization. A lot of the subs who do call me are really into feminization play and just kind of chatting. There's really such a big mixture of people on there. But what I have found with Dommeline is that some people seem to think it's a scam, which I kind of get. People say like, is this really you? Because it looks like such an old-fashioned website. It does look like something that would have existed like 15 years ago. People don't really use phone lines anymore, and if you do, it would be like on an app. So I think for some people, having to call up the number, put in the extension, is a bit strange for them. The other thing, if you're a customer, obviously make sure that your phone doesn't have a limit on it, because it's a premium rate number. And if you're taking the calls, you have to make sure that you don't have voicemail on, because, oh, and also that your phone's on live so you don't miss calls. But yeah, if you had voicemail on, it might accidentally charge someone to be, you know, on the call with your voicemail. So in terms of actually where we do not want, I do find at all very easy to use. All I have to do is turn on the switch that says I'm available, I then show on the home screen. They're now doing it so that you're ranked based on your previous, I think it's 7 days worth of calls. So the more that you're online, the more calls you're taking, the higher up on the front page you'll be. They also have a bonus system which is really good for models, so they give you £60 per day if you're the number one. Sometimes they'll do like a weekly bonus or a monthly bonus, so in December the number one call for the month will get 500 bonus, or sorry, the most cumulative minutes. So right now that is me. If you would like to help me, feel free to call, no pressure. But yeah, they have a lot of bonuses, they have a lot of motivation, they do promote you, so their Twitter is always retweeting you, posting you, so I'd say like maybe once a day they'll put a post up with your photos from the site, and they'll really try and push you. Now it is a little bit on the quiet side, but I would say if you're a model, it's very good to have on when you're doing admin. Obviously you never know, you could be busy all day, you could hardly have any calls. The one thing I would say on the client side is just to make sure that you're reading the profile of who you're calling before you call them, and then if they don't answer the first time, it is worth giving them a second call. I would say give it a few minutes, try calling again. So one of the problems is with Dommeline that I personally experience a lot is that I won't get a phone call for an hour, and then I'll get 2 phone calls at once that come through at exactly the same time from different numbers, and it freezes my phone. So this happens to me maybe like every other day. So one of the reasons that I might not be able to take your call is because another one's just comes through. I might have been, you know, out with my dog for a couple minutes, or I might have been busy with something else. So if I'm saying that I'm available, I am available. It's just that you'll need to call again so I can pick it up, and if you don't let it ring for long enough, it does obviously take me some time to go through it, and when I pick it up I have to press number 1 to accept it. Sometimes that can take a little bit longer, especially if my phone's charging or something. And then if you're a model, what I would recommend is that you have a second phone line, whether that's a completely separate phone, which I prefer, because it means that your main phone is like not tied up. Phone, it doesn't have to be expensive, and you don't actually need to pay for a SIM card. You can have a free SIM card that only accepts incoming calls. You can do like top up £5 every couple months just to keep it active, and that'll more than do you. I just find that if it's on my main phone, I can get too many phone calls coming in, it can tie up too much, and it just means that I'm actually able to, you know, enjoy my job and kind of have a separation between work phone and personal phone, because let's be honest, I don't know who's going to phone me at any time. It could be, you know, the bank calling me, or it could be a sub. So it is one of these things that I would definitely recommend getting a second phone. And yeah, just promoting yourself, making sure that all your existing subs know that you're kind of taking phone calls now. And obviously you're promoted on the site, but a lot of your customers will come from your existing followers and fans. So yeah, the first few days that you're on, you will get a lot of calls, and then it'll kind of go a little bit quieter. But obviously you get regulars, you get people who talk to you all the time. So I have some subs that we kind of chat every few days. Oh, and just like that, we have a phone call. Hello sub. So I'm just off that Dommeline phone call. It only lasted 3 minutes. We were having a little chat, and then they hung up on me, as they do. The one thing that I would ask, if you're going to phone me, can you just say bye? Because then I don't know if it's me. Because sometimes you'll be halfway through a sentence with somebody and they'll be speaking and they just hang up. And I'm like, did it cut off? Did you run out of credit? Did you just hate me? So yeah, that is my little review of Dommeline. It is quite a fun service. I do enjoy it, but it's not very well known. So yeah, hopefully you'll feel like trying it out. If you're a model who wants to try it, remember that it is femdom based, so everyone who calls you will be kind of submissive and into more fetishy style stuff. So I wouldn't go on there if you're not really experienced in this world. I don't think it'd be for you, but if you are someone who was thinking about joining anyway, I'm going to put my referral code, so once you get £100 worth of phone calls, which is pretty easy to be honest, and I'll get a little referral bonus once you've been using the phone lines for a little bit and made yourself some money. So yeah, I do think it's one of the ones that's worth having, especially if you're on phone lines anyway. You can use it in conjunction with other ones. First few days you're on, I would say you're going to get a lot of calls, and then it'll kind of quieten down. But yeah, if you're a sub who wants to call me, feel free. The information is on Dommeline. I'm not going to put it here because I would have to put all this regulatory stuff, but you can find me. Have a good perverted day, and I hope you enjoy.